Today we're going to be taking notes on the metric system and specifically for mass, how we convert between these units. So a kilo, the prefix kilo means 1,000. Okay, if you have a kilo or a kilogram of anything, it's a lot. It's actually 1,000 grams. Milli, the prefix milli means 1,000th. So that's really, really, really small. It's actually 1,000th of a gram. Okay, so the way that we are using these, we're just going to be using these three. Either a kilogram is really, really big, a gram is the middle, and then a milligram is going to be really, really small. Remember, grams are measuring mass, and mass is how heavy something is. Something very heavy like your body or a car or a whale or even a gallon of milk, all of those are going to be in kilograms. And milligrams are so tiny, actually nothing in the classroom, none of my scales can measure milligrams because they're so small. It's like a toothpick or like a tablet of aspirin or a feather, maybe even a straw. Something really, really small would be in milligrams. So there are 1,000 grams in a kilogram, and there are 1,000 milligrams in a gram. So they're super different and really far apart on this metric conversion. Metric conversions, we have kilogram here, we have gram here, and we have milligram way down here. This one is centi, and we'll talk about that when we get to length next, but right now we're just gonna skip it. So we're gonna be converting back and forth in between here. So a kilogram is 1,000 grams. This one is 50 and 5/10 kilograms. I want to know how many grams that is. So I first look at the unit that I have, and I'm moving to a smaller unit. It says move the decimal this way, one spot for each jump. So here, my decimal point is in between the 0 and the 5, and I'm going to be going 1, 2, 3 jumps this way to the right. So I have to use my place values, and if there is nothing there, that's going to be a 0. So the way that I just did that, let me make this even smaller. This is 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps, and those are going to be filled in with zeros. So I do 50, 5 like this. Okay, I moved the decimal point from here 3 over. So instead of 50.5 or 50 and 5/10, I have now 50,500 grams. And at the end of a whole number, my decimal point's always there. So let's try this one. Kilograms to grams. Again, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right. So here's my decimal point, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. There's my decimal point, and these get filled in with zeros. So I'm just going to copy those numbers. It's the same numbers, except I have 2 zeros at the end. So the way that I say this is 402 and 1/10 kilogram is equal to 402,100 grams. Okay, so we're just moving the decimal point depending on the unit. These other two examples are grams to milligrams. So I start here at grams and I go 1, 2, 3, and I'm moving it to a smaller unit so it's to the right again. So I'm doing the exact same thing. 1, 2, 3, and I put those 2 zeros there and commas. So 500 and 1/10 grams is equal to 500,100 milligrams. Think of how many tablets or toothpicks you would need to have 500 grams. There are 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram. Try this one on your own. Three-tenths of a gram is 300 milligrams. Okay, now to move to a larger unit, I have to move the decimal point to the left, one spot for each jump. So these first two examples are milligrams to grams. Milligrams to grams is 1, 2, 3. And a whole number, the decimal point's at the end, and I go 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 5 point. And then, so it's 5 and 69 thousandths grams. And that makes sense because a gram is a larger unit, so it's a smaller number. Milligrams to grams, I'm going to go 3 jumps to the left. 1, 2, 3. And there's my decimal point. Okay, so it depends on what unit you start with and what unit you end with. This one is grams to kilograms. Again, grams to kilograms. I'm moving it to the left. 1, 2, 3 jumps. So here's my decimal point. 1, 2, 3. And try this last one on your own. Okay, that's how we convert. So now I need you to go to Schoology and download the mild version and try to convert between grams to kilograms or kilograms to grams.